I release and I let go. I release. You're at the finish line, Sybyl. All that's left for you to do now is to go through the tape. These were the words lovingly said to me by my dear friend John since that moment had arrived. August 9th, 2021, 9 p.m. After 9 years of caregiving my beautiful mother with Alzheimer's, she took her wings and reunited with her beloved husband on his birthday. She had pushed me into this existence, witnessing my first breath. And now I had to release her to her new life, sharing with her her last breath. Nothing left unsaid, nothing left undone. She knew without question that she was unconditionally loved. And then the unbearable grief, the empty aloneness, support coming from unexpected places, long lost connections being reestablished, people available to witness my wails, the stabbing, gutting pokes and prods of people's selfishness and lack of care all swirled around me just a little further. Just a few more laps before I would be able to complete this long, arduous journey. Choosing pictures, flowers, the obituary. She loved music. Who would sing? Would anybody come because of COVID? Everything had to be just so, befitting my queen mother. My dear friend of over 25 years, John, arrived from Boston. And at last there was somebody there to take care of me. He drove me around, he ran errands, make sure I didn't have to cook. Where do you want to eat? Why don't you take a nap? Why don't you go for a walk? You've done enough for today. Just go to sleep. The day of the funeral was surreal. John wanted to know what I was going to wear. I chose this kimono. I was going to wear black underneath it. No, no, no. No black for us. Mama D would expect you to be a glorious vision of color and light. There was a heightened sense of nerves, like an amped up opening night where you didn't know what was going to happen, but you had to be prepared for anything. Oh my God, this is real. Oh my God, this is really happening. It hit me as I looked off into the distance and saw the champagne-colored casket, the easel holding the beautiful picture of my mother. All you've got left to do is go through the tape. I read the obituary, regal, classy, a lady. These are words that were used to describe Mrs. Dorothy May Walker. You should get an Oscar for that, was whispered in my ear when I sat back down. I returned to do a tribute. In life, many people accumulate and put a lot of value on their material possessions. But in the end, there are only a few things that really sustain and nourish us. What's truly of value is feeling deeply loved. One of the soloists didn't show up, so again, I stepped in. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. As John and I drove into the cemetery, we noted that there were 2 white grave diggers, young men, and we chuckled as we noted that they would be perfectly cast as the disenfranchised, young, radical, tiki torch carrying racist in a movie. We parked our cars and we all gathered around, and I was pulled aside. Sybyl, you had to dig deep to be able to do that. I don't know how you did it, where you found the strength. The pastor called me over to her. Sybyl, I just have one more thing I need to ask you. Now, when we get to the grave site, do you want to be there when they lower the casket? Now, you don't have to. It's your choice. But let me know, do you want to be there when they lower the casket? All at once, this one woman show came to a crashing halt. And the me who always had to have all the answers, always had to figure everything out on my own, always had to know all my lines and do what everyone expected of me, evaporated. And what emerged was a lost little girl in a big, scary world without her precious mommy. John, she wants to know if I want to be there when they lower the casket. No. The overachiever in me, who always had to run the extra mile, had to jump over every hurdle, had to collect everyone's batons and keep running, could not compute this. So I went to a family member. I don't know what to do. What should I do? She wants to know if I want to be there when they lower the casket. Should I? He looked at me perplexed, like he didn't know who I was. Like, who is this lost, helpless woman child? I don't know what to do. What should I do? I'm here and nobody's telling me what to do. John said no. Unsatisfied still, I went to the sister of the pastor. What should I do? I don't know what to do, Sybyl. You don't have to decide now. You can wait, and when the moment comes, you can let us know then. Oh my God. I was given permission not to know what to do. Permission to be human. Permission finally to just be a frightened, grieving daughter lost without her mother. Flanked on either side of me, a trinity of sisterhood held me up as I walked behind the casket that was lovingly carrying the glorious Mrs. Walker to that final resting place beside her beloved Henry. I sat front and center, and this was the moment the baton was being passed, the moment that I was officially becoming the matriarch of our family. And as the pastor was saying her final words, the volume started to wane, and a harrowing soundtrack began to swell and take its place. From the bedrock of the earth, it pierced through this somber scene and filled the cemetery. I recognized it was me.